Hey everyone, and welcome to the Google Classroom 2.0 training. You are part of this training because you are already a Google Classroom champion. You can post an assignment with your eyes closed. You know how to subgroup the students. You know how to post a question, all of those amazing things. This training is not to break down for you how to use Google Classroom. It's just simply designed to introduce how Google Classroom will be used when it comes to our continuity of learning. And I have 15 minutes to give this PD to you. So I have my timer set beside me, and we're going to try our very best to keep it underneath that 15 minutes. So if I do talk a little fast, I do apologize. The video will also be available for you at the end of this session. So as every PD, we must have an objective. So Big Hipsters will be able to become familiar with the continuity of learning Google Classroom format and set up their classroom to prepare for student engagement. Continuity of learning, once again, is our way of continuing education for students in the case that we are away from campus for a prolonged period of time. We believe and strongly understand that learning must still happen for kids, and Google Classroom will help us to ensure that it's happening even in our absence from being physically present together. Google Classroom will help us to ensure four main things when it comes to our continuity of learning. The very first one is going to help us to see which students are actually enrolled in this new online platform. It's also going to help us to take our daily attendance because, yes, we're still in school, so yes, we must still take attendance. More guidance on how this will look will come shortly, but Google Classroom will just help to make sure this is done a little more easier. Of course, it's going to help us to share our lessons and materials with parents and students as we engage in our lessons. But even more, it's going to help us to bring live classrooms to our students to create a face-to-face experience for them. So we're able to bring the classroom into their living room, their bedroom, the kitchen, the balcony, the car, wherever they may be as they're engaging in their online learning. During spring break, we were on numerous calls, and one call was specifically tailored on how we should set up Google Classroom to prepare for the new format for continuity of learning. The region has decided the very best way for us to do this is by making sure we streamline classes, and we have one single classroom to one teacher. We also wanted to make sure that we created brand new classrooms because it's going to help us to see who is actually getting back into the flow of school by enrolling in the class. So the region asked us to create our classrooms with specific domains and to also add in the students by their emails, so they must join the classroom to show that they're actually enrolled in it. To help you all with this, we have actually done all this work for you, and it's already set up. So we have sent out the email links already for the classrooms, and we're able to see who has enrolled so far. This screenshot was taken on Saturday. Today is now Sunday. So as of Saturday, we had 14 students enrolled in Ms. Christian's class alone. We know who those 14 students are because their name goes from being grayed out, and it shows like a more bold black kind of look, and it also allows us to be able to invite a guardian. So that is the way we will know if a student is actually enrolled, because the previous classrooms that you all do have already been set up. So it's no way for us to see if the student is getting right back into the flow of school. We also had to find a way to ensure that our head of schools were able to be a part of the classrooms as well. So for all classrooms for teachers, all shared leaders at the school had to be a part of the classroom, and we also had to add in the head of school. Our head of school is Ken, and if we think even more why streamlining classrooms are so important, Ken manages about 5 separate schools. And if all of those schools are fully grown out, we're looking at about 20 teachers per campus. And if 20 teachers per campus have one single classroom, that means that Ken will essentially be part of 100 classrooms on the Google Classroom space. And if we kept it with us breaking it down by cohorts, that would then add 4 additional spaces. So if we times that 100 for 100 teachers by the 4 separate classrooms they had, that would give Ken about 400 spaces he's a part of. As we were setting up the classrooms, we realized that Google Classroom does have its capacity, and that was not going to be feasible for the platform, for the students, for the teachers, but even more for those who are supporting us. So in order to ensure that we are able to keep everything orderly and to quickly touch in where we need to, we are going to have to keep it streamlined so where he's only managing just those 100 spaces. So once again, just to stamp it, we are going to be doing a one-to-one system of brand new classrooms. That means one classroom to one teacher. And we had the same questions that are probably going through your mind right now. I already had my classroom set up. I have 4 cohorts already. I have materials already inside my classrooms. What should I do from now? The region is simply suggesting that we archive those classes. Archiving does not mean they're being deleted. It just means that they're leaving the general space and they're going into their own folder away from the kids' actual home screen. This will also free up space for students to be able to strictly see their streamlined classes for this time period. So when you archive your classes, like I said, it takes it to a whole new folder and you can see all the classes that you have archived. Nothing is going to be deleted. None of your assignments, none of your materials, none of your grades, nothing is deleted. It's just simply taken away from the home screen and tucked away in its own little corner. If you ever wanted to post or restore a classroom, you're able to do that. You would just simply click on a class. So I would click on student engagement. And a little gray box will pop up at the bottom that says class is archived. Restore it to add or edit anything. And you'll just simply press restore and everything is back to how it was. So when this continuity of learning is concluded and we are back in class, you will be able to restore your classrooms and be back into the normal system that you have created. But for the sake of our new continuity of learning and needing to know if kids are actually enrolling and participating, we are going to have to streamline it to one single new classroom for each teacher. So if you ever wanted to access those archive classes, you would simply click on the 3 gray lines in the top left corner. You will scroll down, click on archive classes, and you will be able to see once again all the classes you have archived. So we're going to take about a 2-minute break at this time, a pause point, so you're able to do those steps. What you're going to do at this time is open up your Google Classroom. You're going to archive all of your pre-existing classes. You are then going to take a screenshot of your archive classes screen. And you're going to email that screenshot to Mr. Coberson, Ms. Johnson, and Ms. Young with the subject reading archive classes as you see here. Once you have done that, we will then add you into your new classroom so you're able to see what that looks like. And we're at 8 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and start it now. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. You have about 45 seconds remaining. I'm so sorry if it seems like it's crunch time. We just want to honor y'all time in the same. You have about 30 seconds. Lo siento. All right, and that is time. At this time, as you were sending in your emails, we were getting them and I was adding you into your new classroom and you'll be able to now see your new space that we have created for you. So now we're going to talk about all things you can do with Google Classroom. So you all already know this. You know how to make an announcement for the class. You know how to post an assignment and make it to where students can get their own copy. You know how to schedule assignments to post later. You know how to group students by assignments. And you know how to post a quiz question or even a CFU question on Google Classroom. So there's no need for me to break all that down for you. You even know how to group together your assignments by topics. What we're now going to talk about is Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts is going to be a way for each week for us to go live with our students and engage in learning. So each week you'll need to do a live lesson, and you'll also need to do a pre-recorded lesson that you can do via Nearpod, which is very similar to what I'm doing right now. For the live lesson, we will be utilizing Google Hangouts, and I'll explain more in the next video why we're going to be using Google Hangouts. And here is that quick tutorial for you on how to access it.